maintaining 5 vehicle replacements in the sheriff's department annually. Looking at some, no modifications that we know we need to do at the jail. This does not include renovation in the cell blocks or additional space. We have roofing projects annually for the next 8 years. With the greatest, with the next need probably being the library. The most expensive is the courthouse. It is at end of life. I put $1 million on here. I know these numbers are all wrong, so please do not rely on them. But they were the best numbers that I had in the back of my mind. We have not gotten quotes on these yet. But the courthouse roof was $900,000 when we put it on back in 2005. So, and it is a 20-year roof. So, construction projects, putting in IAJ phase 1, which should be completed really in this calendar year. Contract is for June, but in between that and paving and everything, hopefully will be completed in this calendar year. Though that's actually just the construction contract. But breaking up IAJ, we expect to hopefully be completed in the 2025 fiscal year. It does talk about the emergency management shelter, which we did submit a BRIC grant on that has been accepted by the state and forwarded on up to FEMA. So there is we stand a chance for funding. We overcame the first big hurdle. The state only selected projects that they thought could be funded at some level. I also put a detention facility and a high school on here. I did not put a date on here because it did prompt a discussion in between Jason and myself. When can I retire? And I'll put the date for those after that date. But those are going to be extremely expensive options. The state is doing large grants. You can get $40 million for a high school now. So I have advised LeGrand to,
$40 million ain't gonna build a high school.
No, but it could replace a building.
Yeah.
You could get rid of, you could replace the old building. So I suggested, getting the grants for walkways are great, but swing big. In addition to the requests that we have for our other capital year requests coming up, and also including the different projects that you've heard in the past, some that you'll hear again, some are just maintenance issues that we need to do, as well as library parking lots.
And you say this is on our drive somewhere?
This is in a copy of this, I think, is a PDF in the drive for today's meeting.
Yeah. Which is February 8A, I think.
8A. So this is just something that we're looking at. This is stuff that is.
This is fluid. This is gonna change.
Yeah.
And so.
But these are all things that are on the radar that we know we're going to need. And thereafter, if the board has any specific budgetary goals in mind, You know, if you advise that they let me know when they are earlier. I know the tax rate is always a goal. And that's always in my consideration.
In the capital request or the capital area, did you address some additional vehicles for DSS?
I have not. I just put the vehicle here on this
To the sheriff?
this is a recurring policy. And we've looked in the past, but I will probably look again and figuring out a way of coming up with more of a fleet policy rather than just vehicles for departments.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody got anything on that?
What's the status? I know someone said, I forgot who brought it up, someone said something about starting a meeting at City Hall. What's the status?
We're getting to that in the next comment section.
Okay.
I
Nothing on
have
the
talked to
budget.
the city
Nothing
manager
on the
on
budget.
that.
Oh, I thought it was done with the.
Well, that's what I was asking.
We're moving on to the next.
Yeah, we're
section.
moving on to the next.
Well,
section.
we'll move on to the next, we'll move on to the next budgetary or to the commissioner's comments, and we'll start with Commissioner Frizell.
Okay. What's the status on meeting at City Hall?
I've asked, I've talked to the city manager about that, and he is,
Coming back at you.
he's going to provide a proposal.
Okay, so they talked about it last night. I didn't watch the meeting, but I did.
Money.
Well,
Yeah, I know. it went
I
to the city
expect
council
that.
last night.
I expect that. Yeah.
What did they, can you report on what they said?
It's basically, as far as actually getting in there, they don't want to have, like, if you have a meeting that's recessed or whatever, going back in, there'll be too many for them to handle.
No, yeah.
Monthly meeting,
Right,
okay.
right.
The staff, they've got a small staff, and it calls extra hours for them to be there to open up the locks, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff involved there. And then whatever you may need for, as far as the AI stuff goes,
Right.
video and all. Figure out the charge for that. He and Charles will work that out.
Yeah.
And then again, they talked about maybe a little break on the landfill fee for some demolition that they're doing, that kind of thing. So those are,
You know, I hear a lot about that we're so diverse from.
Yeah.
Does anybody else hear that?
they praised the partnership last night. They actually.
Yeah, that, we don't really partner up with the city real good.
Right. Well, I think
There's a lot of diversity there.
my discussions with them, and I even talked to Jim a little bit about it, and I didn't give any negative.
Yeah, they were for it. They were okay, other than not too many meetings.
Well, yeah,
Just a monthly
yeah,
meeting,
right,
no
just a monthly meeting, and which is what we do
Yeah,
now.
that's right, no problem.
But anyway, all right, anything else? Mr. Alford, anything? BJ? Nothing? Duke had to leave. He was excused. Okay, so our next item is we'll need to go into a closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11.
Before you do that,
Can I,
a quick update from that.
can I give an update on the audit to let you guys know where we stand with that?
Oh, yeah, because I had that written down here and somebody threw me off of it. Go ahead.
So, we contracted with a new firm this year.
Yeah,
We got hit with a double whammy because we have a new software system and we were planning the old software system, so getting them on track with all of that this year. They are working on our audit. We've submitted everything they needed early because there were 80 other governmental units. I think we got pushed back because we were new and we had the dual systems. We are still answering questions. I think April's group got hit with some a couple of weeks ago. They're still hitting us. We're providing that back to them as fast as we can get it so we can get this done because I'm ready to be done with it.
so you're warning us that we're gonna get the old dirty letter again.
That's
this year.
coming again this year.
And for the new, well, Duke's not here, but you'll get a letter at home about that from the state. Don't think they're looking at your audit, they're talking about the county audit.
Ooh, I'm glad you told me that.
And the auditor.
You've never gotten one of those letters before, have you?
Question in November or December.
Yeah,
They,
so-
they sent us something back in December or November, they sent us a
questionnaire to answer. but
There was something
That's
back,
the last time I heard.
yeah, let's say early on that we got, I think I sent out questionnaires back in the summer for a few things. I don't know if they sent you guys anything else since then or not.
Have they give you a projection on when it's gonna be done?
Well, I did
Or
ask
guess?
for, I did ask for that, for the February board meeting, because I figured that question would come up and I wanted to be prepared for that. They told me they were working on the final draft to give to the partner, and that we should have a draft for us to look at by last week. I don't have it. They're still reaching out, asking us questions, so we're at their mercy at this point. I've done everything I
And we
know
promised
to
the
do.
state now, what,
It's
several
been,
years that we're gonna get it on time, but. Oh, well, okay, I had that to ask, and going out of my mind. but- All right, anything else?
that's it.
All right, so we have a motion to go into closed session about, do we have a motion?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to go into closed session, so North Carolina Virginia Statute 143-318.11. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you all.
Jason.
Hey, look what I've done here.
Yes, sir.
Overall, to be the first budget gathering of the
I think it went very well. We covered a lot of topics. Yeah, long way to go with this year's budget.
Yeah, if it's a.
But that's a good budget.
I can call our boss. I'd say, okay, we can receive you.
Good budget.
Yeah, let's go. I can call Uptown.
Not too far, but the others are the issue.
And I'll take care of it. Yeah, because I actually glanced over that. I'm like, I gotta talk to you about that.
You say you and Duke got the new laptops?
I asked Duke, I said, did you do the iPad like we got? And he just stared.
I don't know where that comes